Hello, it's Monday, June the 21st, and we're in the middle of four exciting chapters, a turning point in Israel's history when Jerusalem is under siege from Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, thousands, 185,000 troops are camped outside of Jerusalem. Jerusalem has no food supply, and the situation in the city must have been terrible. Hezekiah has spread the document that the Rabshakeh had given to him from Sennacherib, and he has spread it out before the Lord. But God hasn't finished with Hezekiah, and God makes him sick. And it is a sickness in chapter 38, in the very opening verse. It is a sickness which is unto death. And he's told in no uncertain terms to put his house in order because he's going to die. Hezekiah will pray and he will ask God to heal him. Isaiah is used in that process, and he sends some potion or other to put to lance this boil that is making him sick, and he is given an extra 15 years. Now, I often wonder what that would mean practically, that we would know, as it were, at least a year, if not the month, of our death, and how hopefully that would really affect the way we live. I remember reading about Wesley. John Wesley was asked, as he was making a journey somewhere on a horse to preach, what would he do tomorrow if he knew that at the end of the day he was going to die. And his reply was he would be doing precisely what he had planned to do. And that takes some degree of sanctification, I think, to be able to say that. Most of us, I think, would change our plans entirely if we knew we were going to die tomorrow. There's a miracle that takes place here. My guess is that this is a local miracle and not one that affects the whole world. The sundial goes back 10 steps. It was a piece of architecture with steps, and the way the sun would shine, that the shadows, you could tell the time by where the shadows were on these steps, apparently. And the shadow goes back 10 steps. Now, if that was to be a miracle across the whole world, you'd expect other pieces of literature, non-Hebrew literature, to record that too, and that doesn't exist. So this is probably something that only happened in Jerusalem, that God did something extraordinary in Jerusalem, and then it immediately went back. It was only for an instant, and it wasn't as though there were 10 more hours in that day. Those are just my random thoughts about it. And it's a chapter again about the effect, the powerful effect of prayer. God changed his mind. Now, to us, he seems to have changed his mind. God never changes his mind. This was his plan all along. But it was through the instrumentality and brokenness, if I can use that word, of Hezekiah's prayer that the death sentence was lifted for 15 years. Well, chapter 38, a wonderful chapter, one more historical chapter, which we'll look at tomorrow. But have a wonderful day.